obvious?
You've got to have a connect through this way. It looks superb. Oh, well, what's it like? I'll tell you what, you ain't going to leave your do you?
Well, what would you do? I mean, it was a very exciting moment. Stephen Farrow was one of the men involved here. You didn't actually take the video, nor did you come out with the expletives.
No, that wasn't me, no.
Who was that? Who can we put the finger on there?
No, that's a good friend of mine, Bill, you know. Anyone who's watching who knows Bill, you know, will know. You know, he was excited.
Well, I think anybody who was watching what you claimed you saw there may well have come out with the same. Now, of course, the accusation's going to be put, was this fabricated? Was it a trick of the light? You were there. What did you see?
Basically, what you saw in the video, I saw it a long way off in the distance, and, you know, I just sort of made the joke, really, you know, look, there's like a UFO, you know, and turned around to carry on, sort of taking our fishing gear apart and whatever else. Bill picked a video camera up and started videoing, and then, you know, the rest is what you've seen. Yeah. You know, when he started to sort of make a noise and shout, you know, that's when sort of turned around and looked, but, you know, he'd sort of filmed it sort of going past over his head, and to see the similar type thing sort of disappearing into the distance, you know. Yeah,
but how would you describe it? We'll look at it again here. The funny thing is that when it's at a distance, it looks, well, it looks very credible there. As you get closer to it, then it's something you sort of can't explain. It looks just as if it's almost projected there or whatever. Was it making a noise? Was it radiating heat? I mean, what was the sensation?
There was no noise. You know, I think if there was noise, you know, I might have looked a bit earlier. It's only that Bill was just, say, he zoomed in on it. I suppose he gets a better picture of what it was. Mm. You know, the whole thing about it is that the tape. You know, I had the tape for sort of 3 months. You know, and nothing has happened with it. It's just you know, the way things have worked. Someone else has seen it, and they said that really you shouldn't keep that. You know, you should let other people see it, you know, and that's why I'm here today. OK, after 3 months. It was all last October. You were just out fishing. That's right, yeah. And you saw this in the sky. OK, we're joined now from Manchester by Philip Mantle. Now, Philip is from the British UFO Society. Good morning, Philip.
Good morning.
Certainly exciting pictures. When we see things like this, it all whets our appetite. Presumably, we all want to believe in this. What is your expert opinion?
Well, first and foremost, there is no suggestion that we've uncovered that the gentleman in question have perpetrated a hoax here. There's no suggestion of that whatsoever. It's a very intriguing piece of film, but what we have to remember is this includes this piece of film that 95% of all sightings reported to us do at the end of the day have an explanation. So it wouldn't surprise me if, at the end of the day, there wasn't some kind of rational explanation here to explain this piece of film.
OK, you're sounding quite negative then on this one. Give me your practical or cynical explanation. What do you think?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me, and again, I have no evidence to prove this, it wouldn't surprise me if we aren't looking at a conventional object, perhaps an aircraft with its lights on, and that the diamond-shaped image could be the result of some kind of malfunction within the lens.
Within the lens of the camera. OK, let me ask you this, Philip. Were there any other sightings or reportings of that object that day? Was it monitored from any other direction?
We have no reports from that particular area for that day, none that would tie in with this piece of film.
OK, Stephen was the man there on the ground. A trick of the light, a trick of the camera, an airplane?
No, we saw the bright light, and the video, you know, when we got back to where we were staying that night and we put it on the video camera, you know, and we actually watched it, you know, you're sort of sitting there looking at it, you think, well, you know, what is it, you know, and there's always a chance that, you know, it might be something that, as you're saying, that you can actually explain. The videotape has been checked by a reporter from the Mail on Sunday, Nick Fielding, who's an investigative reporter. They spoke to the Coast Guard, they've spoken to the police, they've spoken to the RAF, who've got a base which is quite close, to see if there was flight plans lodged, or, you know, to try and explain it. You know, the reporter, you know, he basically said to us that, you know, his job is to knock it down. You know, he wanted to, you know, disprove it as much as he possibly could, you know, so that the story would be a genuine story.
OK, but you knew people would be negative about this, presumably.
Again, that's why it's taken so, you know, what I mean is,
as it were.
You know, just...
Now, Philip, is there anything you'd like to ask Stephen as we look at this again? I mean, anything about the impressions that were gauged on the day?
Well, yes, I mean, I think it's only the gentleman who looks at the object through the viewfinder actually sees what you're looking at. I think it's fair to say that the other two gentlemen who were there just witnessed a bright light in the sky. And that says an awful lot about the piece of film. What I would say is it is a very intriguing piece of film, and perhaps any comments at this moment in time are too in advance. It does need further study.
We have only a brief extract there, a brief clip. How long did it actually stay in the sky? How long did you see it?
Not much longer than what you actually saw there. You know, it was far away in the distance. We've seen the film up until a point where, you know, Bill has said that, you know, he was sort of turning around this way by then, and then we saw it disappear down the Broad. You know, it was. I'll try not to think about it too much. You know, we saw it. Well, you know, I saw the beginning, I saw the end, and I've seen the middle because it's on the videotape. Again, it's the embarrassment more than anything. You know, everybody, you know, people have said it's a slice of cheese, it's a piece of bread. You know, how did you hide the wires? That's, you know.
Okay. Stephen, thanks very much for telling us your story. Thanks for letting us see your film. Absolutely fascinating. Philip, thanks very much indeed for your comments. And I know you would be very keen on people who have further photographs or video clips, indeed, to send them to you. Great things, these video cameras, and get more and more evidence or speculation all the time. Here's an address you can contact. It's the UFO Society, BM Buphoria. That's what it's called. It means something, Bufora. That's the address there, London, WC1N 3XX. Philip Mantle and friends will be delighted to hear from you, initially through a letter, or if you've got a tape to send them, or whatever. Or indeed, send us your tapes if you've got anything else on video. 28 minutes past 8.
I remember seeing an object in the sky, sort of round and warm. It was the sun. I've not seen it for ages. And it's horrible weather still, isn't it, Sally? It's freezing.
It's disgusting.